जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरवनचारी यमुना तीरवनचारी यमुना जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी यमुना। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा गोपीजन वल्लभ यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंद यमुना तीरवनचारी यमुना। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम राम। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Chayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajagacharya Stotrasth His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BBD Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajagacharya Stotrasth His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrunda Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय। श्री मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय। श्री पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगामयी जमुनामयी की जय। तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। शिल प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। ताय गौर प्रेमानंदे गौर हरि बोल। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज हरे कृष्णा। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज हरे कृष्णा। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज हरे कृष्णा। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्री गुरु एंड श्री गौरांगा। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। English. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 6th Canto Chapter 1 Shloka 17. Shloka 17? I was told 17. Okay. 17 was told. Okay, 17 is okay. So I think then recitation of the shloka. I'll just read the shloka then. Sagrichino hya loke panthakshemo kruto bhayam sushila sadavo yatra narayana parayanaha. The word to word translation. हाँ नंबर बोले 17 तो मुझे बोले 17. Sagrichinaha, just appropriate. He, certainly. I am this. Loke, in the world. Pantaha, path. Shemaha, auspicious. Akuto bhayaha, without fear. Shushilaha, well behaved. Sadavaha, saintly persons. Yatra, wherein Narayana Parayanaha, those who have taken the path of Narayan, devotional service as their life and soul. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The path followed by pure devotees who are well behaved and fully endowed with the best qualification is certainly the most auspicious path in this world. This is free from fear and it is authorized by Shastras. Purport. One should not think that the person who takes a bhakti is one who cannot perform the ritualistic ceremonies recommended in a Karmakand section of the Vedas, or it is not sufficiently educated to speculate on spiritual subjects. Mayavadi generally alleged that bhakti path is for women and illiterates. This is groundless accusation. The bhakti path is followed by the most learned scholars as the Goswamis and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramanujacharya. These are the actual followers of bhakti path. Regardless of whether or not one is educated or aristocratic, one must follow in their footsteps. Mahajano yena gatha sapantaha. One must follow the path of Mahajanas. The Mahajanas are those who have taken the path of devotional service. Shushila Sadhava Yatra Narayana Parayana. For these great personalities are the perfect persons, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.18.12. Yashasti Bhakti Bhagavati Akinchana Sarves Gunas Tatra Samasita Sura. One who has unflinching devotion to personality of God and has all good qualities of demigods. The less intelligent, however, misunderstand that bhakti path and therefore allege that it is for one who cannot execute ritualistic ceremonies or speculate. As confirmed here by the word Sudharichina, bhakti is the path that is appropriate, not the path of Karmakand and Jnanakand. Mayavadis may be Sushila, Sadhava, well-behaved and saintly persons, but there is nevertheless some doubt whether they are actually making progress, for they have not accepted the path of bhakti. On the other hand, those who follow the path of Acharyas are Sushila or Sadhava, but fortune and furthermore that the path is Akuto Bhayat, which means free from fear. One should fearlessly follow the 12 Mahajanas and their line of disciple succession and thus be liberated from the clutches of Maya. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamayam Tadati Swapadandikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishve Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhesha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Paunebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Classic blessing from all Vaishnavas here, so that I can speak for the pleasure of the Lordship and all Vaishnavas. So here, this is somehow that when I heard this 17 sloka, and it is here, I'm supposed to speak at 18, it's written here, so sorry for that. So in today's sloka, Shukdev Goswami is talking about 15 sloka. It says Kechit Kevalya Bhakta, means where those who follow unflinching, those who have unflinching, unalloyed devotion service to Krishna, follow that path, they can only uproot all the sinful desires. That was talked in 15 sloka. And it's glorified that anyone who serves such devotees, and under their instruction, when they learn how to dedicate one's life to Krishna, they can be free from the clutches of material world. So now here, again the glorification of the pure devotee of Krishna is given here. So here it says that the path followed by the pure devotees are well behaved and fully endowed with the best qualification. So it is certainly the most auspicious path in this material world. It is free from fear and it is authorized by Shastras. The path which it is talked by Shukdev Goswami, the Kechit Kevalya Bhaktya. So it is glorifying here Kechit Kevalya Bhaktya, how it is free from fear, and it's the most sublime, most easy, not easy in the sense, it's most simple, and those who are pure devotees follow this path. So it's glorified the path of bhakti here. So Srila Prabhupada is talking about here in this purport that one should not think that bhakti is for those who cannot perform ritualistic ceremonies or recommend karma card and the sections of Vedas, or not sufficiently educated for speculating subject matter. So bhakti. So sometimes people think the bhakti is for the woman class, or those are illiterate people, those who can't write, those who can't read anything, for them it is. But it is not like that. Here Srila Prabhupada is talking, the best example is about Goswamis. We see here like Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, we talk about later. But we talk about even the path which is followed by the pure devotees, actually having all good qualities. And anybody who follows them, they become dear to Krishna and they get perfection in their life. So one time Srila Prabhupada was giving Diksha in France. I don't remember his name, but he was a boxer and he was a butcher in his earlier life, means before coming to Krishna consciousness. And then he got certain devotees, started chanting 16 rounds, following 4 principles. So when he was introduced to Srila Prabhupada, he's a devotee. I forgot his name. It's very nice name he had. So Prabhupada was giving mala to him, and before giving mala, he said, "Now no more again killing of animals." And then he gave beads to the devotee. So here we see as earlier shloka says, the most sinful people, those who follow the path of pure devotees, they can be free, they can be purified, and they can get perfection in their life. So we see Srila Prabhupada's life, those who ate, they were eating cow meat. When they were drinking wine only. So that kind of people, just they followed the pure devotee and their life got changed. So that's what, about we are talking about here. Anyone follows the path of pure devotees, it's akoto bhaya, there is no fear. So, as Srila Prabhupada talking about the bhaktas, sometimes people think bhaktas cannot perform ritualistic ceremonies or they can't speculate. So Prabhupada says it's a baseless argument. Baseless. They say this is, but it's not right, because a devotee can also perform ritualistic ceremony. We have vivid example of 5th canto Bhagavatam, Bharat Maharaj. When he was a king, he would perform many yajnas. And they were all if you see, there were like karmakanda yagyas. Of course, acharyas, they revealed to us when he was offering yagya, ahuti to demigods. That time he would think about how demigods are the part of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it was, for him it was a pure devotional service. But he was performing the yagyas which were like, karmakanda yagyas. So devotees, they know it. They can do it, but they know it. जय श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र भगवान की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा की जय, गौरनिताय की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. So it is not the devotee, they don't know the ritualistic ceremonies. If we read, they know rituals, but they don't do karmakanda rituals. Karmakanda rituals, Narottam Das Thakur says, Jnana-kanda, karmakanda, jnana-kam, keval vishera-bhan. So devotees are not interested in this kind of poisonous activities which make them to entangle in this material world. That's why they know ritualistic ceremonies, but they know devotional ritualistic ceremonies. Like we see Gopal Bhatta Goswami has written the book on Samskara Shadasara Deepika. In that is written there about what are the samskar one should do it, how one can perform yagyas. So it is not, the devotees don't know. Even other sampradaya also, like Sri Sampradaya also, they do a lot of rituals. But the intentions and the ceremonies, the rituals are there to please the Lord. Otherwise, in the case of those who are karmakandis, for them, when they want to do karmakand, for their desires. That's the difference between the karmakandis, devotees. It may look, like they are doing yagyas. Sometimes in Diksha also we do yagya. But the purpose of yagya is totally different. Yagya by Vishnu. We say, Prabhupada always says, that yagya means what? To satisfy Vishnu. Nothing else other than this. But there for them it is, Dhanam Devi, Putra Devi, Janan Devi, all these things they want to have. That's why ceremony looks same, but it's totally different. The purpose, goal is different. So they may say, but devotees are very, very qualified. It is not, they are not qualified. And regarding the speculation we talk about, the philosophical speculation. But the Jnanis, they do mental speculation. So that is very wrong, because they try to speculate about the absolute truth through their mental understanding. But that is totally wrong. But when devotee, they do speculation, they do the philosophical speculation on the basis of scripture. Like we see about our acharyas, they are not they are not illiterate people. If we take example of Jiva Goswami, he has written 4 lakh slokas. We can imagine, the acharya who, he's as Prabhupada writing here, actually they are the followers of Bhakti Yoga. So if you see Jiva Goswami has written 4 lakh slokas, and just recently I was hearing one class, so Jiva Goswami has written Bhagavad Sandarbha, where he has explained the meaning of word Bhagavan. He has quoted thousands of slokas just to understand this Bhagavan Shabda. So who can be more philosophical, who can do more analysis of philosophy than in our acharyas? Actually, Mayavad, they do all world jugglery, and ultimately they go nowhere. So that is totally different. And at the same time, as Prabhupada is writing here, they have all good qualities. So if you see Srila Jiva Goswami Pad, even he was having such a great scholarship. At the time, he was so humble. He was brooming at his Guru Maharaj, Srila Goswami Pad, he was cleaning his, ashram. He was cleaning the pots. He was making the arrangement for writing the palm leaves. So even he was such a great scholar, he studied to Banaras there. He has written 4 lakh slokas, you can imagine. And then I heard the way he was writing the sloka, that he would write first sloka on first palm leaf, then keep it for drying up. Then take a second leaf and write third sloka, and keep that back, and then take a first one, then write second one. So that much, who can be that kind of scholarship? It's Prabhupada says, that Jiva Goswami is like after Vedvyas, Jiva Goswami is like a scholar. Nobody is that way, that caliber. So, and we see how I was hearing class of Gaurang Prabhu. He was talking about how Jiva Goswami, when first time he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Ramkeli, when Lord Chaitanya came, that time when Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, when that time they surrendered, that time he was a very small boy. After that, when it was like 15, 13 around. And when again he grown up, so he was around 15, 27 around. So he was like 15 to 16-year-old that time. Yeah, 15 to maybe 20-year-old, maybe maximum. So that time it is said, he went to Bengal. He met all the acharyas there. He met Nityanand Prabhu, Nityanand showed whole Mayapur, and then he came to know the Lord Chaitanya is there. He is having all the pastimes in Jagannath Puri. So I'm just giving this example for how even they have such a good, amazing qualities. They are so self-controlled. Even we could in that place we have different our understanding. So Lord Nityanand Prabhu said, "You go to Vrindavan." He was in Calcutta, means near Mayapur, and he was supposed. So he could have thought, Mayapur is so nearby, I can go to Jagannath Puri. Lord Chaitanya is there, personally present there with all the associates, Sarup Damodar Goswami and Sarabham Bhattacharya and all other devotees are there. So he could say, I want to go there, so I can take darshan, can have some glimpse of his pastime. When he was small, that time he just saw one time, that's it. But Lord Nityanand Prabhu said, no, you have to go to Vrindavan. So he did not went to Jagannath Puri. And Lord Chaitanya went back to spiritual world again in 1533. So after 5 years. So you can imagine, even having such a scholarship, but they have what kind of qualities? As Prabhu was writing, Yashasti Bhakti Bhagavati Akinchana Guna. So they have Suresh, they have the qualities of demigods. Of course, demigods have the qualities from them in one sense. We can't say no, they have qualities of demigods. They are so, they are all Siddha people, devotees. So the acharyas here, they want to show us, even somebody may be very, they are not some not qualified people. Person has written 4 lakh slokas. No, he has such a humility. At the same time, he has such a self-control, and where he is such an obedient person. Sushila Sadhava. And in our case, you could have thought, I just thought of, if the Lord Chaitanya is there, so we can say, I have to go to, I may not see again Lord Chaitanya back, But he never thought in that way. Such an amazing personality, where Jiva Goswami never, after that, he never saw Lord Chaitanya again. Of course, they are, Lord Chaitanya always giving darshan to him. He is a pure devotee of Krishna. But as a pastime, when we see, he never saw again back. So this is about Srila Jiva Goswami. And we talked about Rupa Goswami. As a Prabhupada, I think best example is all our Goswamis. So Srila Rupa Goswami has this written our most important book for us. Prabhupada, it's a law book for ISKCON. So it's a nectar of devotion. And I heard that it took 17 years to write that book. So it is not something, somebody can just write something, He took 17 years. Unless somebody has thought well, and of course he studied all the other different scriptures, and then he has put everything together in that book. How much it must be required? How can somebody say, no, the bhakti yogas, no, they are for illiterate people, those who are, women, for them it is. That the most scholarly people, and the shloka, which gift Srila Rupa Goswami has given, the most important gift what he has given to us is the shloka of Anyabilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmana Vrutam Anukulena Krishnanu Shilnam Bhakti Uttama. If you just consider this one shloka also, Mayavadis, all the Jnanis, they can't stand in front of anybody. Because this shloka is so difficult to follow also, in one sense. Now Mayavadis, they have Abhilasha, that's why they don't come under this category of devotee. Anyabhilasha means they don't have Abhilasha for even for Jnana, Karma, or even for any material desire. But they have a desire, to get merged in God's existence, or they want to become God. So actually they are nowhere in compared to the devotees. The Srila Rupa Goswami has written this shloka. Actually it looks, bhakti is of course very simple for simple, but it's very difficult. It is not easy. We may say, it's a bhakti is very for illiterate or woman. Anybody can follow, but the person has to follow the process. So, but the most important part, Srila Rupa Goswami, when he writes the Bhakti Rasama Sindhu, he has given 64 glimpse of devotional service from the most neophyte person, so that he can become the pure devotee of Krishna, from Premi Bhakta. That much he has given such a, anybody can miss. Even illiterate can follow also 64 items. Even women can follow, like people like Shudras also can follow us. We can also follow this. So it's not something, it's only for, illiterate can also follow, woman can follow. It is not just for them. It's for everyone. That's why Kunti Mahane say, this path is for Amalatmana. Muninam Amalatmana. It is not just those illiterate people. It is very, it's called blaspheming to the Lord, His devotion service, the path, and to devotees. It is only for the illiterate people. Actually, we see Srila Rupa Goswami path, the way he has written this sloka, that sloka itself is there to defeat everybody. That's why it says Paribhasha Sutra for Nectar of Devotion. This whole, the book is around this sloka. Anna Bilashiza Shunyam. So, this is about Srila Rupa Goswami path. And it is so scientifically present, the Bhakti Yoga and Nectar of Devotion, that the Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojan. The very scientific, it's the one has to follow the process. The how one has to take Ado Guru Padashaya, the Sadharma Prucha, and then Diksha, then there are 5 processes are there, which are there. Somebody has to serve, the person has to follow the Mahajana. So everything is very perfectly given there. It is not something sentimentalism. Because Mayavadi they are thinking about, that is for the illiterate and the woman. It means those people don't understand the things. For them, Bhakti Yoga is there. No, Bhakti Yoga is not for them. Actually, Bhakti Yoga is for those who understand things, it's for them it is. Like when we talk about this Bhakti, and we see the example of Vrajvasis. Now, Vrajvasis are not, because Vrajvasis are like, our gopis are there, the Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Mai, or, those who, like coward boys are there, or so there are different devotees are there, Vrajvasis. But they are realized people, they think, okay, when they were, from their Mayavadi point of view, they think this, Vrajvasis are like, they're illiterate people. It is not the case actually. Actually, they are the most surrendered devotees of the Lord. For actually, if we consider them, their surrender to Krishna, Mayavadis are not surrender. They are independent mentality people actually. They want, the Gyanis are there, they want to speculate and they want to try to find out absolute truth from their own mental understanding, which is also most of the time wrong. But here they are realized, they are in front of the Lord. Whatever Lord says, they do it. They are not karma kandis. Like we see the example of Govardhan Puja. Like when they were doing this Indra Puja, so that time Krishna asked, why you are doing this Indra Puja? So because he said they are giving rain. So we are so great, we have to show gratitude to them that we are doing that. So Krishna said, no, stop it. And they stopped it. Because they want to please Krishna. The Bhakti Yoga is most difficult in one sense. It's not so easy. When the rain started coming, when he lifted the Govardhan, Krishna, and Krishna told, come again inside, everyone should come inside. It looks very illogical in one sense. How somebody 7-year-old, he's lifting Govardhan, and you are coming, and he's saying, come inside, for stay here. If some Gyanis are there, they use their speculation, if I go inside, then how long he can hold it, and how many days, how many hours. They didn't thought of, because they are not Gyanis. They're actually pure devotees. That's why it's most difficult path. Even suppose in our case, of course we know it by philosophically, if Krishna calls us, maybe I don't know whether I'll go inside, maybe on our Acharya's faith, we may go inside the Govardhan hill if calls. But it is not so easy. They had first time experience how it is lifting Govardhan. We heard, that's why we know now we can go inside under the Govardhan. But they didn't have experience of, Krishna lifting Govardhan. It's the first time he's lifting. For 7 days. And they are not speculating whether should I do it or no, whether should I go inside or no. Just did it. That's why, but it is not, they don't understand. They are illiterate people. If you see Nanda Maharaj, he gave lot of arguments to Krishna when he was talking about the Indra Puja that time. The Karma Mimamsa philosophy and Krishna was talking about. And he was giving a lot of arguments back. So it is not, they didn't know philosophy. Even gopis, they know philosophy. If you read the Gopis and their conversation with Krishna, they know all philosophy. So it is not the women are illiterate people, the devotees of the illiterate people. No. Even after that, when the Kalya pastime happened, when Krishna came, he defeated Kalya, he came back. So the night, all the Vrajas said, we'll sleep here only night. And that time, there was a whole fire was around, Davanal was there. So now they say, what to do now? Say, Krishna, what should we do? Says, close your eyes. That's it. And they closed their eyes. They did not speculate anything. So Bhakti Padi Anyabhilashita Shunyam Jnana Anukulam. Krishna is pleased by closing eyes, will do that. And Krishna saved them. So it is not, people, when Mayavadi says for illiterate or some woman, it is not that way. Because illiterate means, they don't understand anything. Are ghanti bajao, thoda donation dalo, ho gaya. This is called bhakti. Or some flower, you make some garland. It is not like that. It's more scientific. I'm just talking something just on very superficial level, but you can ask some. There are so many other different devotees who are very scholarly. They have read our different acharyas commentaries. They can tell more better, 100,000 times better than me. But it's a fact. If you read Ishobnishad, the way Prabhupada is presented the philosophy, nobody can say it's for illiterate. And Prabhupada, then I had Prabhupada writes here, it is not whether person is educated or not educated. It's for everyone. Now, this is what is here. Sometimes Mayavadi think that many times there are devotees are there, they're illiterate. So they think that that's a path is for illiterate people. It is not the case. Because bhakti can be followed by anybody. The process can be followed by anybody. Now somebody may not read nectar of devotion, that doesn't mean he cannot become a devotee. But he can learn under the devotee's guidance to follow the path of bhakti, the principles of nectar of devotion, he can follow that. And so there is no need to be a literate person in one sense. Like somebody is offering flower to Krishna, so he can just think it is just for pleasure of Krishna. There is no other ulterior motive for offering flower, anything, any devotional items for that. So it becomes pure devotional service. If somebody follows the process, it is not one has to the previous qualification of going to school and able to read. Of course, we are fortunate by that. Because of that, we are able to read Prabhupada books. But somebody doesn't, it's okay. It doesn't make any difference for that. Or here, or we can see the Hanumanji never went to any school. And he, of course, he learned under Surya, his spiritual master. But we see he is neither human being also. He is a monkey. But we consider him as our topmost our Acharya. Prabhupada writes in second canto chapter of Bhagavad Gita, one of the he says shlokas, he gives class on that. He says, just like Hanumanji was there on the flag of Arjuna, so that time Arjuna was always praying to Bajrangji. Just like you assisted Lord Ramchandra in his fighting, so please give me your blessing so that I can also assist. So that way, if you see Hanumanji, and there are more temples of Hanumanji than any other Lord Ramchandra's temple also. So if you consider that way, then there are so many illiterate people, like our Sridhar Kolavecha, Jatayu. They may be illiterate, but they know the principles of bhakti. There are Mayavadis, they are literate people, but they don't understand the principles. That's why they fail. That's why Prabhupada is writing here, Mayavadis may be Sushila, Sadhava, well-behaved, saintly, but there is nevertheless some doubt about whether they are actually making progress or not. Because Patanti Adha Yishvan Angraj, which says they will fall down again because they have not taken the shelter of their Krishna's lotus feet. That's why they have to fall down. There is no question, there is no ambiguity about that. Prabhupada is writing very clearly, many purports, that Mayavadi has to fall down because they have not taken shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. And so this is about anybody can follow, even educated, uneducated, aristocratic, or those are very poor like Sridhar Kolavecha. And when we see about Srila Prabhupada, his example also, he is a perfect example for the principle of Anyabhilashita Shunyam. If we consider him, when he was poor, still he was following Bhakti Yoga. When he became big Acharya in ISKCON, having 108 temples, millions of dollars, thousands of people, still he was having same life. Or even when he got heart attack, that time also he followed same principle. He did not ask, please save me. That time when he got heart attack, when all the devotees were around in 1967 around, or 67, 8, by that time when it happened in New York. All the devotees didn't know what to do now because they were all new devotees. So Prabhupada said, just keep chanting HareKrishna regular, all the times essentially, and somebody can massage my left body And you pray to Krishna that if you desire so, then our spiritual master has not completed his work. So please save him. But he gave the if you desire so. He did not say please pray that Krishna please save my Guru Maharaj. No, he didn't say that to pray. So he that way you see, and for 40 years he didn't got success. Still he was a devotee. After getting success, he also that time he was a devotee. So whether you abuse the devotee, sometimes it looks like Krishna is abusing his devotee. Sometimes he is like he is not giving any facility, no support. There are no followers to him. Still. Prabhupada followed that. So it requires lot of guts. It is not so easy. Unless one has that devotion, he can't do it. Now those are sentiment people. Sometimes they cry for seeing some Bhagavad Katha. And when they go and watch some cricket or some movie, that time also they cry. This is not case with the devotees. Those are pure devotees. They have full devotion for Krishna. And Prabhupada is talking about here Akudo Bhayat. There's one last thing about Akudo Bhayat means this path is for it is free from fear and it is authorized by Shastras. Free from fear means person has no fear when it comes to devotion service. We see in the pastime of Narottam Das Thakur. When Narottam Das Thakur he made one devotee when one dacoit into devotee Chandra Rai. He was very, very terrific dacoit. He had killed so many people. He has looted so many people, and he was drunkard, all bad habits. But once he became a devotee, then the king around the place, because he had done so much atrocity to people, so king actually caught him and put him under the jail which was underground, where it was very difficult even to breathe. It was like a underground ground tunnel kind of thing, and he was just alone, just one person, and it was very difficult. And it was like as if he throughout his life he has to be there or he has to be killed. His father was there. He was a devotee of Chandi, so he that time he called one person as yogi. So you go and bring Chandrai back. So this Chandrai he was just became a devotee that time, not so very senior devotee in that sense. So that time he was inside the jail. So this yogi comes inside that jail, that small tunnel kind of thing. And said, now your father has told me to bring it. I can take you out from this place. He said, I can't come back now. Only when my spiritual master's mercy, only I can, if I am supposed to, I can come only by his mercy, not by any other way. So you can imagine just somebody becomes devotee and he is now inside the, nowadays jails are sometimes AC is there, person can get prasad, not prasad, but the food from their house, the cloth can be washed by some other people, there are so many facilities are there. It was not like, it was just very black, no air, no light, just small hole inside, he was kept inside. At that time he's praying, I'll not come out because of you, I'll come out by the mercy of my spiritual master Narottam Thakur. Somebody can become so fearless. So that's the example, Akuto Bhayat, he says. The bhakti is actually for Akuto Bhayat. Of course, a lot of things can be spoke about this. And the last part Srila Prabhupada is talking about here is, it is authorized by Shastras. Actually, bhakti is only the method. Other things are because they can't follow. They don't have that the power to follow bhakti. That's why they are following Jnana Kand or Karma Kand or the different from yoga, other thing. Actually, bhakti is the topmost because they don't have that kind of sukruti or mercy or whatever it may be. But they don't have. That's why they are following this path. These paths are actually not supposed to be there. Only bhakti path is supposed to be. But because they can't follow that, that's why they have to. They are, because according to their caliber, they are following this. They don't. They have so much ego. That's why they are doing speculation about the absolute truth. Actually, those who are egoistic people, they can't follow actually bhakti yoga. So this is not for them. So, but scripture says, Shastra says, this is the process. It is authorized process given in scriptures. It is not, that, bhakti can be also followed and jnana can be also. It is not like, it is the process. Those who are jnanis, karmis, those are yogis, one day they have to come to bhakti path. It is not optional path. Like, we see the example of Durvasa Muni. He was a Jnani. And he had so much ego, that I am a celibate, I had so many disciples, 60,000 disciples I have. But when he went in front of Amrish Maharaj, actually, if you see that, the Amrish Maharaj showed himself how he was the topmost in even he didn't have, he was a Grihastha devotee. He didn't so many disciples he had. But just because of he had that devotion to Krishna, even the Durvasa Muni could not do anything to Amrish Maharaj because of the devotion. Even he did not pray, "Oh Krishna, please come and save me." But Krishna had that, he had that always to save that heart to always want to save devotees. So that's why Krishna sent the chakra. Not sent also, it was always around Amrish Maharaj. So bhakti is the path. So that is what I could think about. Of course, there it can be spoken, many things can be spoken. And today also Lalita Devi Sasti. So Lalita Devi, she is a guru of Shrimati Radharani, and she is born in Uncha Gaon in Vrindavan. One time we went there with many devotees. We had yatra, and of course, sometimes she has so much power. Sometimes she can chastise Krishna also. She has that power. And she comes as a Saru Damodar Goswami in Chaitanya Lila. So Saru Damodar Goswami is one of the most intimate devotee with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are 3.5 devotees who are most intimate associated with Lord Chaitanya is Saru Damodar Goswami, Ramananda Rai, Shiki Maiti and Madhavi Devi. So there are 3.5. So Saru Damodar Goswami is the most intimate devotee of Lord Chaitanya. And when Lord Chaitanya chastised one of the Bengali devotee, that he was washing the feet of Lord Chaitanya in the temple of Gundicha temple. So he took him by collar and present in front of Saudhaga saying, "You are Gaudiya Vaishnava, Bengali Vaishnava." So Prabhupada writes in one of that purport, we are all under the supervision of or guidance of Saru Damodar Goswami. And Saru Damodar Goswami was a singer, and he was also. Now, here, same example, if you consider about Saru Damodar Goswami also, he was a sannyasi, and he learned all the Sanskrit, the literatures in Banaras. When he came, he was sannyasi, but he did not took the sannyasis, all the symbols. He even did not took even sannyasi name also. He just kept brahmachari name called Sarup, that's it. And he was humbly serving Lord Chaitanya. So we can see, as Prabhupada is writing here, that one should fearlessly follow the 12 Mahajanas and their disciple succession, and thus be liberated from the clutches of Maya. So Srila Saru Damodar Goswami actually who know the heart of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So whichever mood Lord Chaitanya had, according to that he would sing in order to please Lord Chaitanya, whichever. And just like when Lord Chaitanya was singing one time, the one particular song, only 2 people could understand. One was Rupa Goswami and other was Sarup Damodar Goswami. So such are our acharyas, and they have shown the path, as Prabhupada is instructing us in this shloka, that one should follow our Mahajanas, not the Mayavadis. They don't have any ground. They are nowhere in one sense. They may look, Chaitanya says, Mayavadis Krishna Pradi. There is no question. They may say whatever they want to say, but we want to follow our Mahajanas. Hare Krishna. Any comments somebody want to give? Question, if somebody has. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Lalita Sasti ki jai. हरे कृष्ण। और कोई बजेगा? कुमकुमाब्ध कांचनाब्ध गर्वहारि गौरभा पीतनाम जगन्ध कीर्तिनिंदि सौरभा कुमकुमा बल्लवेश सोणु सर्ववांछितार्थ साधिका मह्यमात्मपाद पद्मदास्य दास्तु राधिका। मह्यमात्मपाद कौरविंद कांतिनिंद्र चित्तपट्ट शाटिका कृष्ण मत्त भृंग केली फुल्ल पुष्प वाटिका। कृष्ण मत्त भृंग केली फुल्ल पुष्प कृष्ण नित्य संगमार्थ पद्म बंधु राधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका। मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म सौकुमार सृष्ट पल्लवाल कीर्ति निग्रह चंद्र चंदनोत्पलेन सेव शीत विग्रह। सौकुमार चंद्र चंदनोत्पलेन्दु सेव स्वाभिमर्श बल्लवेश कामताप बाधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका। कामताप बाधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु। विश्ववंद यौवताभिनंदिता पिया रमा रूप नव्य यौवनादि संपदा नयत्समा। शीलहार्दलीलया च सायतोऽस्ति नाधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका। मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु रासलास गीत नर्म सत्कलाली पंडिता प्रेम रम्य रूप वेशु सद्गुणाली मंडिता। प्रेम रम्य रूप वेश सद्गुणाली विश्वनव्य गोपयोषिदालितोऽपियाधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका। नित्य नव्य रूप केली कृष्ण भाव संपदा कृष्ण राग बंद गोप यौवतेषु कंपदा। कृष्ण भाव संपदा कृष्ण राग बंद कृष्ण रूप वेश केली लग्न सत्समाधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका। स्वेदकंपकंटकाशु गद्गदालि संचिता मर्ष हर्ष वामतादि भावभूषणांचिता।
स्वेदकंपकंटकाशु गद्गदालि संचिता मर्ष वामकादि भावभूषणाञ्चिता
कृष्ण नेत्र तोषि रत्न मंडलालिदाधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दासुराधिका
कृष्ण नेत्र तोषि रत्न मंडलालिदाधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दासुराधिका
याक्षणार्थ कृष्ण विप्रयोग संततोदिता दैन्य चापलादि भाव वृंद तो विदा
याचनाद कृष्ण विप्रयोग संततोदिता नैकदैन्य चापलादि भाव वृंद स्तोदिता
यत्न लब्ध कृष्ण संग निर्गताखिलाधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दासुराधिका
यत्न लब्ध कृष्ण संग निर्गताखिलाधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दासुराधिका
अष्टकेन यस्तवेन नौति कृष्ण वल्लभा दर्शनेऽपि शैलजादि योषिदालि दुर्लभा
याचनाद कृष्ण विप्रयोग संततोदिका कृष्ण योषिदालि दुर्लभा
कृष्ण संग नंदितात्मदास्य सिंधु भाजनम तम करोति नंदितालि संचया सुसाजनम
कृष्ण संग नंदितात्मदास्य सिंधु भाजनम तम करोति नंदितालि संचया सुसाजनम
कुमकुमाप्त कांचनाब्ज गर्वहारि गौरभा पीतनांचिताब्ज गंध कीर्ति निंदि सौरभा पीतनांचिताब्ज गंध कीर्ति नंद बल्लवेश सोनु सर्ववांछितार्थ साधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दासुराधिका 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 जय श्री राधा वृंदावन सुंदर भगवान की जय। श्री कृष्णराज कविराज गोस्वामी की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।